Alright, world, welcome to episode number 9 of the Jimmy Canz Show. Today we will be discussing Elimination Chamber, coming to us from the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. How you doing today, Rod?
Not too bad, not too bad. How y'all doing?
Alright, so we finally got a few matches on this card now, thanks to Raw last night, not just a 3-match card.
Okay.
So let's get into it.
Although, with it being an Elimination Chamber, those matches are pretty long.
They are long.
It could have been 3 matches.
Well, I mean, it could have, I think 3 would have been a little light. I mean, like we're looking at maybe, I think 6 now,
okay,
which is pretty decent, considering you're going to have 2 chamber matches.
That's a full card.
Yeah, it's a pretty solid card. So let's, out of the gate, discuss the United States Championship matchup. Champion Andrade taking on Humberto Carrillo.
Oh, it's like another episode of Raw.
Yeah.
They fight every week.
Yes. This is Andrade Carrillo 10.
It's, I'm going to say Elimination Chamber. I think Humberto.
You're going to go Humberto?
I think they let him get this win and kind of boost him a little bit. Although Elimination Chamber is usually no disqualification, right?
Well, this isn't in the chamber.
But I mean the event.
No, this is just a regular singles matchup for the United States Championship. So
I'll tell you what.
I'll let you think. I'll let you ruminate on it for a second. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go Andrade. I don't think they're ready to take it off him just yet. I think they're setting something up for Mania. I think if he is going to drop it, I think it's going to be next month at Mania. I don't think Humberto, even though the kid can go in the ring, I don't think he's over enough with the fan base for them to turn around and put a strap on him. So I'm gonna say Andrade retains, and here's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping Andrade retains, and it sets up Andrade and Aleister at Mania.
And Aleister wins the title.
I don't care. I don't care who wins it at Mania. It'd be a great match. It'd be a great feud.
Well, I think if you bring Aleister in there at Mania, he wins. I also hit one last note on it.
Absolutely.
I'll say what they could do if they're hell bent on Humberto being a new guy, being their guy, they could have him win by count out or disqualification, so that he has the victory, which justifies a match at WrestleMania where they put the title on him, if that's the direction that they want to go. But I like Aleister Black direction better. Yeah,
you like Aleister, but so you're saying Andrade retains now? You're going on this one?
I'm going Humberto.
You're going Humberto.
Wins, but the title doesn't change.
Okay, so you're saying Humberto by DQ or count out or something.
And it justifies the WrestleMania match.
Okay. All right, so next up, our first of 2 Elimination Chamber matchups. This one for the Smackdown Tag Team Championship. Our newly crowned champions of Miz and Morrison, made up of the Miz and John Morrison, taking on the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, taking on Lucha House Party, who will be represented by Lince Dorado and Gran Metalik.
Okay.
The team of RooDolph, as I referred to them, Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler. The New Day, represented by Big E and Kofi Kingston. And Heavy Machinery, represented by Otis and Take.
I think it's going to come down to Usos, New Day, and Miz and Morrison. I think that'll be kind of where...
Those will be the final 3 teams in it?
Yeah, I think that's where it's going to be decided. Ooh, I think Miz and Morrison retains.
You think Miz and Morrison retains?
I think it's Elimination Chamber they retain.
All right, I'm going to say the Usos get the dub in this one.
Okay.
And that ties them with championship reigns with New Day. And I think it sets up something for Mania with them. But I also think that Miz and Morrison are going to be involved. I think it's going to set up like a triple threat at Mania. And hopefully it's like a triple threat ladder match or something like that. Or
because there's too many bodies for just a regular match.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Or a triple threat TLC or, something, with those 3 teams. I mean, between Kofi and Morrison with his parkour and everything, that could be some, make some insane spots.
A triple threat last man standing tag team, last team standing match?
Last team standing
match.
First time ever.
At WrestleMania.
It's impossible. Like I said, there's a lot of different directions you could. And here's what I'd say. Like I said, I think Usos are going to get it to tie New Day. I think Miz and Morrison are going to stay involved and everything. And I think we get some type of triple threat stipulation.
Let me ask you this: let's hypothetical because we're just talking now.
Absolutely.
So if there was a last man standing triple threat match amongst those teams, in my opinion, I give the edge to the New Day because Big E's strong and he can lift up his partner even if his partner is not able to stand on his own. Who you like in that scenario? Fantasy booking.
Fantasy booking. That scenario, I'm gonna go with the Usos in that situation simply because of E and Kofi are as close as brothers, but the Usos really are brothers, and they know each other inside and out. They've known each other their entire lives. They know what the other guys think. You know what I mean?
You just can't picture both of the Usos laid out for that 10 count with their dynamic.
Well, not just their dynamic, but I just think, because they know each other so well, I think that they'll, be able to work the best in tandem throughout the whole thing and come out on top.
I can see it, though. Visually, it doesn't look right either. Both of the Usos. You know what I mean? Like, both of them. Okay. All right. Yeah. Sorry.
It's all right. But like I said, that's my, like I said, I think we're going to get some type of triple threat stipulation championship matchup at Mania. So, and I think it carries more weight if the Usos have...
the title.
Well, have as many reigns going into that matchup as the New Day.
And what's that number?
They would. They both have 7.
7.
Right now, New Day's at 7. Usos are at 6.
Okay.
So next up, match that was just made last night, a no disqualification matchup facing.
We go elbow.
A no disqualification matchup pitting Aleister Black against the phenomenal AJ Styles.
Ooh, that's heavy. That's WrestleMania level.
Yeah, but I mean, they've pretty much all but inked in AJ versus Taker for Mania. So,
which makes it even harder for me to call this match. How do you send AJ into that match with Taker, right?
I think Taker's going to interfere. I think Taker's going to, even though it's no disqualification, I think Taker's going to interfere and cost AJ the match. Aleister will get the W and everything because Taker will come out and beat the, tombstone him or chokeslam or something.
I like it.
So that way AJ didn't lose to Aleister clean, but it's no DQ, and then that helps further that feud and build into Mania.
I like it.
So
I'm on board with that.
You're on board with that? Okay.
I'm riding with it.
You're riding with me. Okay. All right. Next up for the Raw Tag Team Championships, our new Raw Tag Team Champions, having just won the titles on Raw this week, the Street Profits. Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford defending against the former champions of Seth Rollins and don't call him your buddy, Murphy.
Yeah, you let the Street Profits keep it at this point. I think I spoke to this prior that I thought the Street Profits were actually winning that Super Showdown.
Yes, you did.
Because I think...
Speaking of which, I don't mean to interrupt you, but we both got the same amount of matches right at Super Showdown, just different ones. Yeah. But we both I think we got the whole thing covered. Yeah, I think we both got like 4 right, 4 or 5 right.
We got the whole thing covered.
Yeah.
But
so anyway, go on.
No. But I think that the Street Profits is something there. And like particularly, I always get the names mixed up. The skinnier one,
Montez.
I see something there.
He's definitely got charisma.
He's got charisma. He looks like a pretty good athlete. I got to watch him wrestle a little bit more to see how his technically how clean it is. And you probably can give me more insight on that because I know you've seen it more than I have. But I think it's something there with the Street Profits. I think it's a demographic. There's something there.
Yeah, I'm going to say that the Street Profits retain here. I think they're setting Seth up for a singles matchup at Mania against Owens. I think the original plan was perhaps a tag match between
AOP.
Well, no, between Seth and Murphy against Owens and Joe. But Joe's serving the 30-day suspension for the wellness policy violation. So that's thrown out the door. And everything, so I think that's why they took the straps off of him. So now he can go into a singles match with KO for Mania. So I'm gonna agree with you and say the Street Profits retain. Now, what direction they go for Mania with that, I don't know.
I like that spinning off into a Street Profits AOP. Maybe AOP winning the title that Mania. I like that.
But like I said, we have already discussed a little bit. We think it's going to be some type of triple threat, potentially for the SmackDown. So, like, you can't do the same type of thing with the Raw. You know what I mean? You don't want to have, both tag team matches are triple threats. Or is one's a triple threat, one's a fatal four.
So why would it have to be a triple threat?
What now?
Why would it have to be a triple threat?
Well, you got Viking Raiders in the mix there too. You still got the OC and Gallows and Anderson.
Oh no!
I'm just saying, there are other established tag teams on that roster that are legitimate contenders.
Interestingly enough, though, AOP hasn't really gotten a lot of just wrestling time.
No.
Actual wrestling time.
No.
So maybe that's an injection of what they feel like is something fresh.
Yeah, it's possible.
Into that scene. I'm interested to see.
Yep. All right, next up, a handicap match for the Intercontinental Championship. Your boy, the Monster Among Men.
Against everybody.
Braun Strowman taking on former champion Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro and Sami Zayn. 3-on-1 handicap match.
It's hard. I actually think that I got to pick against Braun. I don't think Braun wins.
You're going to pick against Braun? I never thought I would see the day.
I'm going to pick him, but I don't think he's going to win. I'm going to pick him, though.
I'm going to pick him simply because it's too convoluted. It's a handicap match, but who would get the belt?
Oh, it's for his belt.
Yeah, it's an Intercontinental Championship matchup. The handicap Intercontinental, it's too convoluted in terms of which one of those three ends up with the belt. Is it the person that actually gets the pinfall? Is it, how does it all work? So I'm going to say Braun retains just because it's too convoluted to figure out.
I hate that they burn. I would hate for them to burn those three guys, though. I think highly of all three of those wrestlers. Mm-hmm. Like they could have picked Lucha House Party or somebody or whoever. You know what I mean?
I think you're going to get the Braun freight train spot on the outside where he runs over all three, hits one, hits the next, hits the next. Yeah.
Who takes the pin? Sami.
I think Sami takes the fall in this one. So, and then last but not least on the card, another Elimination Chamber matchup. This one to determine the number one contender to go on and face Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania. The combatants in this women's chamber matchup are Liv Morgan, Natalya, Sarah Logan, Ruby Riott, the co-holder of the women's tag team championship, Asuka, and the submission specialist herself, the submission magician, Shayna Baszler.
I think it's pretty much. It's Shayna.
It's Shayna. I agree with you on this one. Like everything storyline-wise has been pointing to this for weeks. It's kind of, this is the most predictable outcome match, I think they've had in a long time.
Even if you look at the star power, too.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, you build up this whole angle, like what was the point of building up this whole angle if she's not going to get the matchup?
Mm-hmm. I agree. Unless, sometimes I think they're so smart. We'll let someone else win, then Shayna will injure them and then we'll reward her for injuring one of our people by giving her. Yeah, but they don't want to have to go through all that. Just let Shayna.
Yeah.
And just the names that you said off that list that's just now, like that's the biggest. It strikes the loudest for WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm. The only other person I could see potentially, since having just come back from injury, is Ruby. Yeah. She's kind of a fresher face right now because she's just coming back from injury. She hasn't been around in a while.
She's not a Mania. I just don't think she's a Mania name. Because they took the belt off the Fiend just for Mania.
Yeah.
Like they want biggest possible recognition.
Yeah. We'll get into that when we do our Mania prediction show a little bit, what's happening there. But I do want to touch on one thing real quick, and before I wrap up, is all this flack about them putting the title on Goldberg at 53 years old.
Oh, I don't have a problem with the 53.
But I'm just saying that's a lot of people like, he's 53 years old, and he's beating the Fiend and yada yada yada. People have absolutely no problem when in AEW Jericho was their champion at 53 years old. Jericho and Goldberg are the same age. So nobody has a problem with Chris Jericho. You know, he's credible at 53 years old, but is not credible for Goldberg.
Well,
That's,
you know,
I mean, it's just
so-
I just don't understand the rationale and the mindset.
If I know the interweb fans, as I think I do, I think a lot of it is because Jericho's considered as more of a full-timer. I'm saying even if he isn't, he's perceived that way, right? So it's easier to digest. It doesn't feel, you know, the sentiment of Goldberg is swooping in here and being given stuff. That's the narrative that they're putting on Goldberg. And because I hadn't heard so much about the 53. The 53 was new to me. I'd heard more so about you kill the hottest organic, homegrown thing that you had for a guy who's not a partner. Now, I heard that complaint. 53 don't bother me.
Yeah.
It's not the 53, and you know I love Goldberg. It's just like, don't put the belt on the feed. Like, if you want Goldberg, if you wanted to be Goldberg at WrestleMania, put the belt on someone else who you don't have. Put it on Sheamus. Give it to Sheamus before now. You see what I'm saying? He just came back. Give it to Sheamus. Let Goldberg take it off him. But to do that to the Fiend.
But you still have to get it off the Fiend somehow.
But what I'm saying is, don't put it on the Fiend yet.
Well, they'd already done that. That ship had sailed.
But I'm saying, like, you have to figure something out. Right? I even like your idea of tricking him.
Like I said, I think that would have been the smartest way to beat him. Is you don't beat the Fiend, beat Bray. Figure out a way to get him to drop the Fiend persona. But
because now it's like the only way to make him strong is to get it. The only way to get him back is to have Goldberg.
Have him beat John Cena.
No. Have Goldberg beat Roman.
Well, that's what we got now. We got Fiend and Cena.
Yeah, that's what is it? Compensation.
Yeah.
But I think if you let Goldberg beat Roman, and then you have Fiend beat Goldberg at SummerSlam, like, it's that bad now.
Yeah. So those were our predictions for Elimination Chamber. Join us next month. Next month, this is our last stop, and then it's onward to WrestleMania weekend. So next month we'll have Takeover Tampa Bay, as well as the granddaddy of them all to discuss, WrestleMania of the Caribbean this year.
In Tampa. Hopefully they'll make the Fiend point at that sign too many more times.
Yeah. So, like I said, please give the channel a like, a share, a subscribe. Comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. Not only, your thoughts on the matches, your thoughts on the channel. Like I said on our last show, please, any suggestions you guys have about what you like, what you don't like, please, let us know. So, you got anything you want to plug? Anything you want to say, Rod, before we wrap it up?
No, we're balling out here in flag football, but that's a different topic.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.